Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, let's talk about this killing, the shooting spree that happened here in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's talk about people getting killed over stimulus checks. Let's talk about whether or not our vice president is going to be safe in her home at the U.S. Naval Observation. Let's talk about this controversy with Black Lives Matter. And we'll wrap it up with a little bit of RonaCheckIn. 2 days ago, it was all over the news that 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long had got into his car in Acworth, Georgia, which is about 30 miles north of Atlanta. He had gotten into his car. He drove to a massage parlor by the name of Young's Asian Massage, which is in Acworth, went inside and fatally shot 4 people. They ranged in ages from 33 to 50-year-old, 2 men and 2 women. There was a 5th person that was shot, but that person did survive. But looks like he is going to have a major time trying to recover from this. They said that he was shot in his head, in his throat, in his stomach, and in his kidney. Sorry, not his kidney, his lungs. So, yes, they expect him to have a very difficult and long recovery, but they expect him to survive. Anyway, Robert Aaron Long then got into his car and drove down into Atlanta, into a area on Piedmont, where there's a stretch of like strip clubs and massage parlors, you know, sort of a bit of a sex district a little bit. They said by 5:47, they were getting calls that he was shooting at Gold Spa, that he shot and killed 3 women there. And then 10 minutes later, he was across the street at Aromatherapy Spa, and there another woman was killed. So there were 8 people in total that were killed, 9 people that were shot. Of those 9 people, of the 8 people who were shot and killed, 6 of them were Asian women. There is a concern of the growing violence against Asian Americans here ever since coronavirus started. Many Asians are now getting blamed for the state of our world, and people have been lashing out at these people who have, I mean, they're here. They don't have anything to do with whether or not the virus spread, but they are taking the violence from people who are just ignorant. And of course, this was made worse for Asians because YSAP kept calling it the China virus, and he inflamed a lot of people. Okay, people don't realize that many of these Asians might not even be Chinese, you know, but people will see somebody that's Asian and just automatically link them as Chinese. So these people have been victims of growing violence. We've been seeing the pictures and the videos all over on the news. It's definitely been a thing. It's been happening. So of course, when I heard this story, I was just like, well, it's like a rampage against the Asians. The police are trying to say that when they apprehended him, and I forgot to tell you guys that, so after he had shot and killed all these people, he got into his car. The surveillance cameras did catch him getting into his car. So on the news, they immediately released his image and was like, if anybody knows who this is, let us know. Well, 2 hours later, his parents called and said, that's our son. They were very instrumental in helping them recover the son. The son was actually on his way to Florida because he had intentions of going to shoot up some massage parlors down there. So anyway, the police tried to say after they caught him that this wasn't a racially motivated attack. And I was like, y'all fucking got to be kidding us. He done shot and killed all these Asian people, but you saying that it wasn't a racial attack, or it just so happened that he went to. Yeah, so they're saying that no, instead that he has a sexual addiction, that he knew that these massage parlors that he frequented often were bad, you know, and he was trying to stop going to them. So he looked at him going and shooting up the place and killing people was the best way to stop that. So now they're trying to say that it wasn't a racially motivated attack, but instead because he has this sexual addiction that he's trying to curb. And I was just like, You know, I was reading up on, they're saying that it's very difficult for them to prove racial, like hate crimes against Asians, because the Asian community here in the United States don't really have any type of symbol that actually directs you as a symbol of hate towards a group. Like, they don't have a noose, they don't have a swastika, you know, like you can't really say for a fact that this group of people, you know, have been targeted because of their race. But I'm thinking to myself, like, they're all Asian, okay? But they weren't all Asian. A few of those people that were killed were Hispanic, Latino. But for the most part, the majority of those people were Asian. Those massage parlors are mostly Asian ran. And but like I said, it's not just that situation that we've seen. Yes, this one has been very horrible, this mass shooting, but we've been seeing these Asian people getting beat up, little small Asian women getting attacked by huge ass men, pushed down, kicked, stomped, you know, beat up, all of that. It's been going on. So it's definitely something. It's a thing that's happening to the Asian community, and their community leaders are beginning to speak out. And I'm sure they're going to put the pressure on the police to call it what it is. Stop trying to beat around the bush. Stop trying to say that you're not going to charge these people with hate crimes when the Asians are, they are definitely seeing the rise in violence. Even if it is easier for us to see an anti-gay or anti-black or anti-Semitic, you know, I think that it's equally easy to see in more and more cases that, you know, an anti-Asian campaign is on its way. So, you know, my prayers go out to the families that were affected. They actually interviewed some of the families on the news. I was watching a little girl, couldn't be more than 6 or 7 years old. Her father was Latino. He was actually at one of the parlors just there putting up shelves. He was a handyman, and he ended up getting shot and killed, and she was crying, and my heart, you guys, I just was so sad for them, because you wake up one day, you think you're just gonna go to your work, your job like normal, and then you just gonna take it on back home and see your family, and that man will never see his family again, and the other people won't see their families either. So hopefully there's something that's done about this, because nobody should have to go through these things. No person of color, no white person, nobody should have to live their life in fear of being killed by some terrorist, crazy person that decides to come in and shoot the place up. I don't know what's becoming of the world today, but you guys, it's a sad and it's a scary place. He's been charged with 8 counts of murder. People are trying to say that the police are trying to soften him and, you know, say that he was a great person, and they can't believe, you know, people in the community can't believe it, and, you know, all of the things that happens when something like this happens and it's a person of the other persuasion, you know, so that's not surprising. All I know is they better not let this man off. He done killed 8 people. All right. And he's another Dylan Roof, if you ask me. And something definitely needs to be done there. He needs to be under the jail. So we'll keep our eye on this story. But this story has a lot of eyes on it. So hopefully justice will be done there. All right, you guys, another sad story in Indianapolis. 25-year-old Malik Halfacre got into an argument with his girlfriend over her stimulus check. So I'm assuming that she was one of the people who actually got her stimulus refund in her account, and he felt that he should get some of it. They have a child together, and he was arguing with her about that. I'm assuming that she told him she wasn't giving him whatever he wanted. So he then proceeded to shoot her. But he did not kill her. So when the police arrived, he left. The police arrived there. They took her to the hospital. She told them that there was another house that 4 people were shot and that they needed to go over there. They went over to that house, and that is where they found 4 people dead from gunshot. And they are 44-year-old Tamika Moore, 35-year-old Anthony Johnson, 23-year-old Daquan Moore, and 7-year-old Eve Moore. 7 fucking years old. What is wrong with people killing 7 fucking years old? I mean, I can't even, how do you do this? 7 years old, you guys. I'm telling you, my heart is broken. Just like today on the news, that somebody carjacked this girl. This girl was making a delivery at like 2 o'clock in the morning, but in a good neighborhood, she thought. And she left her car running, and she had her 1-year-old baby asleep in the back seat, and somebody jumped in the car and stole her car. Now they're saying it's a 14-year-old kid that stole the car. They found the car, but now the baby is gone, and the baby has been missing unless something has happened. While I've been on my lunch break, the baby has been missing for over 12 hours now. The 14-year-old supposedly still has the baby and is on the run. And that story is also very tragic because, you know, why you didn't just leave a baby in the car. Now he's 14, he took this baby, and I'm just praying that this boy has not killed this little girl. They're not really releasing much more on the story, but that's what's going on. Actually, I got an Amber Alert this morning at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. So that was for that little girl, I'm sure. But anyway, I'm getting off track. But yeah, the 4 people that were killed, 7 years old, just heartbreaking, you guys. But he also left from there. He had a 6-month-old baby with the girl, the first girl that he shot, and the baby was missing. But it turns out that he had actually taken the baby to his sister's house. He confessed to his sister that he shot and killed the 4 people. The sister, I'm assuming, called the police. The police went to where he was. He was hiding in a friend's attic, and they arrested him. So that's terrible. People are so desperate and crazy right now because nobody has nothing. That's why crime is rising. And you know, people are just willing to do anything, including killing people. Over $4,000 or $5,000 at the end of the day is not worth it, you guys. I mean, your life is over. You taking the life of many other people, and you ain't got no money, and you're gonna be in jail probably for the rest of your life. You know, so it's not worth it. It's some sad times, you guys. It's some sad times out there. But prayers up for that family, those families that were all affected in those shooting deaths. And again, hopefully Malik Halfacre will be brought to justice. All right, you guys. So let's talk about what's happening at the vice president's house. So you guys know that the vice president's home is on the U.S. Naval Observatory, the base there. And traditionally the vice presidents live there while they serve their term. Well, Vice President Harris and the first gentleman have not moved into the house yet because they were doing renovations. You know, when the former people move out and they move the new people in, then the new people are able to decorate the house exactly how they want it, and they fix the house up for them the way that they want it, and then they move in. So they haven't been staying at the home. They've actually been staying at the Blair House, which is the guest home for the White House. They've been staying on that property while the work is being done on their property. 31-year-old veteran Paul Murray, he was home and he was upset about something, and he told his mother. He got quite a few things off of his chest, and whatever he did tell his mother, it was enough to worry her. She contacted the Capitol Police, and she said, I'm assuming, amongst other things, that her son is on his way over there to try to kill the vice president and her husband. Or maybe just the vice president. Whatever it is that she told him, they decided to, put a perimeter around the area, block off streets, and they were actually able to get him on Massachusetts Avenue. So I don't know the area or, where everything is, but he was close enough that they would be concerned about him. Actually, he was detained. He was arrested later because he had machine gun, they said. I think they said something that had an automatic. Okay, he had a large capacity ammunition feeding device, a dangerous weapon, a rifle, and an unregistered ammunition in his car. So he definitely was on his way to do something to somebody. Okay, so that was why they were able to get him. And so the vice president, of course, is safe. But it is very concerning. He was not actually at the property. Okay, he was on the surrounding street of the area. But still, this will just let you know that it's still very dangerous times for the current administration. And really, honestly, I'm just thinking to myself, like, why she can't just stay at the Blair House? Why can't she just stay at the White House? Because I'm sure it's the security is way much higher there. But you know, granted, I know that they're not at that house, so the security probably is not as high at that house as it would have been if she and her husband were there. But still, that shit is scary, because it's like, I mean, he was planning on doing some damage. And when they asked him why was he on his way there, he said that he was unhappy with the VA. They weren't helping him the way that he felt he needed to be helped. And he's also on some sort of medication. They didn't say what the medication was, but that he felt like he was, you know, he felt like he didn't need to take it. So he hadn't been taking his medication either. So he's a little off kilter mentally. And then he is frustrated with what's going on at the VA at the Veterans Administration. So that's what he says, the reason why he was on his way there to kill Vice President Harris. Yeah, you guys, we need to pray over our people. We just need to make sure that everybody is safe. It's, again, scary times right now. I always feel like I've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks, so this is just a real quickie in this. We still trying to get Andrew Cuomo to resign, okay? Andrew Cuomo said he is not resigning. And they're having a hard time trying to convince this man to get out of there because he is very powerful in New York. You know, his father was a former former governor. He's like the head of all of these governors associations, and he's the chair of this, and he wrote books, and, you know, he's done all this. They say that he had, you know, aspirations of running for president in the next term. So he had then already aligned his things the way that he thought that it was going to go. And now we've got all these women, I think it's 6 women now, that have come out and said that he has fondled them, groped them, you know, held their face, said things to them, wanting to kiss them, all kind of shit. Okay. And he is maintaining that he's never touched any of these women. And like I said, even though there's a lot of pressure, all of the Democratic congressional folks, they've all want him to resign. And now the 2 senators in New York are also saying that they want him to resign, which is Chuck Schumer and the other one. I'm sorry, I can't think of the other one. But yeah, everybody is on him to resign. And as of now, Governor Cuomo said he will not be resigning. So we just gonna see, because he looked like he done dug his heels in pretty good, you guys. But we gonna see what happens there. Do you guys believe that the man will be resigning? I have a feeling that he eventually will, but time will tell. All right, you guys. So the Black Lives Matter thing is very unfortunate. I didn't write down my notes on this because I actually forgot, but I know that I wanted to talk about this. I've heard a lot of things about Black Lives Matter, the actual organization, like a lot of other things, something that starts off grassroots and has all of the great intentions. When it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, a lot of times those great intentions get washed away. Politics get involved. A lot of other things come to kind of like dim the light of what the original goal of the organization was. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff that's being said about Black Lives Matter. The idea of Black Lives Matter is still what it is. Okay. And I still believe in that idea, but you know, there's things that happen within the organization that some people are not happy with. Tamir Rice's mother came out the other day very upset with the performance that little baby did in the Grammys, and had a lot to say about Tamika Mallory, and mostly Tamika Mallory. But her whole point was, and I'm paraphrasing because I didn't write any of this down, I did read it and it was a whole lot, but her point was that these people attach on to causes You know, in these cases, most of the times it's a black person, a black man, a black child that has been killed. They'll latch on to this. She talked about Ben Crump was the other person that she was mainly focusing on, but she said they'll latch on to it. They'll bring all this attention, celebrity to the case. You know, they'll have people thinking that something great is going to happen, and then don't shit happen. Okay. And, you know, in the meantime, their names have gotten bigger and bigger because they supposed to be crusading for the people, and they supposed to be doing all this fighting. But Tamir Rice's mother feels that they don't really do shit. Okay. And that the original goal that, you know, trying to help these families or these people that have been, you know, whose child has been killed, their loved one has been taken away from them, those people are left behind with nothing. They ain't won their case, their child is gone, these people now famous and went on about their business and all of that. And, you know, Tamir Rice's mother was over it. I totally understood what she said. My heart breaks for her because, you know, nothing came. I mean, I think the family was paid you know, something for what happened with the son with Tamir Rice, but that doesn't replace your child, you know. And I don't think the police were put in jail or anything. Remember, so they did get money, but the police still are out and able to live their lives. And in the meantime, this mother's son is gone. So yes, she's bitter, and yes, she's you know, she doesn't see things as positively as someone who still has their child with them would. So I mean, I understand what she's saying, but I do feel like Tamika Mallory, I think that these people are trying to do their best. You know, even with her working with the Breonna Taylor family, and, you know, somehow we've got to get something, you know, we've got to get these cases known. So you have to have somebody that connects onto a case so that the world can know about it and maybe something can change. I guess the frustration is, even when these people do latch on and the world knows about it, it don't change nothing. Okay, look at what happened with Breonna Taylor's case. Nobody was charged for her death. This girl just died senselessly, you know. And so I think that's her point that she's making. It doesn't make sense to have all these people on it. They celebrities, and they, you know, doing all this. Now they in videos and on TV shows and all of this. And under the guise of bringing attention to it, and nothing is really happening. Paraphrasing, but I think that that's pretty much what Tamir Rice's mother is saying. And there are other people who also co-sign her and believe that that is exactly what the situation is as well. I mean, I like Tamika Mallory, and I feel like she is doing an important work. I did see that Sean, what's his name? Sean King did come to her defense and says that she's done a lot of things for a lot of people that we don't know about, you know, saved many lives, including his own, you know, has been there, is on the front lines, is, you know, she can't help it that she's been elevated in this whole, you know, as things have happened, that's not her fault, you know, she's just fighting the good fight. And in the meantime, her name is getting known more and more because more and more attention is brought to her. But I'm sure that she's not trying to take the attention off of the case where it's all on her and not on the case. So, you know, it's a lot more to it. There was other stuff that was going on Twitter, and other people that were weighing in and co-signing what Tamir Rice's mother was saying. And I understand, I do understand what she's saying. I just don't want to believe that Tamika Mallory, your Ben Crumps, even though Ben Crump, I'm sure, makes a whole bunch of money in what he does. But I don't want to think that they're doing this for their own benefit and that they aren't trying to get us as a Black people to a better place. You know, I look at Tamika Mallory as a leader of our community. I'm proud of her as a Black woman. So I sympathize, I empathize with Tamir Rice's mother and the others. But I also still want to support Tamika Mallory because I think that, like I said, she's doing an important work. There's way more on it though. So you guys should look up that whole Black Lives Matter thing, but it'll make you sad because it just seems like something, like I said, something that started off so genuine and pure has turned into something else. And you know, now we don't even know Black people is the ones that's heading the organization. So but that's what's going on there. Let's get on to the Rona check-in. All right, you guys, let me give you some numbers. Hold on one second. All right, you guys, so we've had 29.6 million cases since this whole thing started. As of March 17th, on that day, we had 58,856 cases reported. We've had 1,177 deaths on yesterday, and total we've had 538,134 deaths since this whole thing started. And currently we have 41,136 people that are in the hospital. The number is, like I said, still staying right here, doing one of these numbers. And they're ramping up these vaccinations. I was very sad to see that Georgia ranked number 50 in vaccinations that are given to his residents, which is really sad considering that we are the home of the CDC. And you mean to tell me that the people in Georgia can't even get access to these vaccinations? They say that they have these vaccination places set up, but for whatever reason, people can't get in there to get to the damn vaccination. So I don't know if they don't have enough people working there or what, but very, very embarrassing to be number 50. Actually, I think they said it was Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, one other place, and then Georgia. Child, it was bad though. So we've got to do better here. I saw YSAG, he was on the news and he was trying to say that there was like 250,000 vaccinations that hadn't been counted but really did happen. I was just like, whatever. They need to open these vaccinations to everybody. Okay, and just let everybody go and get these damn vaccinations, because you're still hearing about vaccinations getting wasted and people not being able to use them all and all of this. They open the shit up, okay, but I guess they don't have enough, so they're afraid of the influx of people that might come in. But you know, they keep on saying they're making more and more and more of these vaccinations, so you know, I think we're ready for it. You guys hear about what's going on with AstraZeneca, the vaccination overseas? I think it's in, where is it? In England? Is it in France? It's overseas. They're putting a halt on it. Now, AstraZeneca has not been approved here by the FDA, so it's not in the United States. All you have is Johnson & Johnson, which is the 1-dose shot, and then you have I was about to say Primerica. You have Pfizer, and then you have Moderna. Okay, those are the three that are available here. But over there, AstraZeneca, they put a hold on it because it's starting to cause some blood clotting issues in some of the people that have received it. They said it's not a large number, but it's enough people, I guess, for them to feel like they better shut the shit down for now. So that's a big setback for AstraZeneca. But now I understand why they never approved it here in the United States. They said the FDA here is very strenuous and it puts them through a whole lot to get these things approved. So that was good that they did not approve that vaccination for here. So we'll see what happens with AstraZeneca. Then, of course, there are other vaccinations that Russia has their own Sputnik one, and then China even has one of their own as well. So it's vaccinations everywhere. It's just a matter of people trying to get to it. I'm ready to go get mine. That's all I keep on telling y'all. Give me my shit so I can get on with my life. Have you guys had your vaccinations yet? All right, you guys, I got to get back to work. Guys, let me get off of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Rox. The channel is for It's Rox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.